Praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Lord.
Praise the Lord, O my soul.
Praise the Lord, O my soul.
While I live, will I praise the Lord.
Will I praise the Lord.
I will sing praises unto my God.
I will sing praises unto my God.
While I have any being.
While I have any being.
His breath goeth forth.
His breath goeth forth.
He returneth to his earth.
He returneth to his earth.
In that very day.
In that very day.
His thoughts perish.
His thoughts perish.
Happy is he.
Happy is he.
That have the God of Jacob for his help.
That have the God of Jacob for his help.
Whose hope.
Whose hope.
Is in the Lord his God.
Is in the Lord his God.
Which made heaven.
Which made heaven.
And earth.
And earth.
The sea.
The sea.
And all that therein.
And all that therein. Is.
Which keepeth truth.
Which keepeth truth.
Forever.
Forever.
Which execute judgment.
Which execute judgment.
For the oppressed.
For the oppressed.
Which giveth food.
Which giveth food.
To the hungry.
To the hungry.
The Lord looseth the prisoners.
The Lord looseth the prisoners.
The Lord opened the eyes.
The Lord opened the eyes.
Of the blind.
Of the blind.
The Lord raised them.
The Lord raised them.
That are bowed down.
That are bowed down.
The Lord loveth.
The Lord loveth.
The righteous.
The righteous.
My songs were taken from chapter 146. May the Lord add a blessing of the reading, hearing, as well as doing of his holy, mighty word. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Israel's Church of the Living God, and Brother Rodney and Brother Caleb will be reading today. But before we get started, we are going to call the people that's out of town. Sister Helena, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brother Rodney. Shabbat shalom, family.
All right, shalom, Sister. Happy Sabbath. Sister Janet Cruz, are you there with us?
Meet up with you guys, family, and happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath, sis. All right, Brother Christopher, are you with us today?
I'm here. Happy Sabbath, Israel.
Happy Sabbath. And Brother Rodrigo Hicks, are you with us today?
I'm here, Brother Rod. Sabbath peace, Mr. Brother.
All right, peace, my brother. Anybody else joining us? I didn't get a text or a call this morning from Brother Terrence, so he must not be joining us today. All right, so happy Sabbath to everybody that's joining us online, and I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. I hope you're up for some history today. And I'll be talking with you guys soon. Happy Sabbath. Today's title is Israel and his brother Esau. Israel and his brother Esau. You know, I guess I should put a disclaimer in here today. We're not trying to discredit anybody. We don't want to speak ill of nobody, because we know that God is going to punish all men that deserve it. I don't care if you're Israelite, or Hamite, or Edomite, it don't matter who you are.
That's right.
So we're not trying to discredit anyone today. We're just trying to bring out the truth and let people know that, you know, Israel, first of all, I'm going to say this, Esau, rather, is not the white man. We might deal with that a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit. You got Esau that's calling himself a Jew, which he's not a Jew. And we're going to show you that without question, the one that's calling himself a Jew right now is not a Jew. That is indeed Esau, which is the father of the Edomites. And so we're going to also show you today what color Jesus is, because contrary to popular belief, he is not the blonde hair and blue eyes with the light skin. Okay? So now, without getting any further into the comments, let's get into the lesson. Let's go to Malachi, the first chapter. Malachi, the first chapter. And so right here, Malachi is just explaining that Esau and Jacob are brothers, and that God loved Jacob, but he hated Esau. And we're going to show you why, too. But the Lord also said he hated Israel in Gilgal. So the Lord chooses whom he loves and whom he hates. at whatever time he does. But anyway, let's go now. We're at Malachi 1, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead and read it.
Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Was not Esau Jacob's brother? In fact, they are twin brothers. Go ahead and read.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau.
Go ahead. Now, you know, a lot of people thrive on that right there when they want to start belittling somebody. You know, talk about, I love Jacob, but I hate Esau. He also said he hated Israel at one time, too. He said, I abhorred them. And abhorred means hate, right? Start at verse 3 again.
And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his hair to his waist for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
And that's what they have done. They have returned back to the land and they have built the desolate places. They're even excavating a lot of those holy sites right now. But go ahead and read.
But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down.
See, one day the Lord is going to tear those buildings down. Because he's going to have to go in and clean up Israel when he returns. Go ahead and read.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Call them what?
The border of wickedness. And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Now, did I say that or did we read that? The book said he has indignation upon these people forever. So don't get mad at me when you hear some of the things you're going to hear today. Now, let's go to Hebrew. Now, we got to find out who this Esau is, because, you know, a lot of people think that Esau no longer exists. But we're going to show you he still exists. And he is the one that's calling himself a Jew today. You know, some people say, well, those are Gentiles or white people, Ashkenazis. Well, some of them might be. But the majority of them are Edomites. And I know that by going to Obadiah. Which, you know what, I'm going to throw that in there a little bit later. Let's go now. We're going to Hebrews. Hebrews 12, and we're going to pick it up at verse 16. Hebrews 12 and 16. You know, there's a rumor been going around for hundreds of years that Jacob stole Esau's birthright or his blessing. Jacob didn't steal Esau's birthright or his blessing. Esau sold to Jacob. And the book says that. I don't know why people don't read this. We're at Hebrews 12 and 16. Hebrews 12 and 16. Go ahead and read it.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
Now wait a minute. You see what the Lord just called him? Well, what the writer just called him. Some people say this is not Paul. Okay. What the writer just called him. Saying he is a fornicator and a profane person. Go ahead, read that verse again.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
See, he sold his birthright. So I don't know why people have been saying this for hundreds of years, that Jacob stole Esau's birthright. No, he sold it to him.
Yes, sir.
Verse 17.
For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
Now, let's go now and read about this. Let's go to Genesis, the 27th chapter. Genesis 27. Because it's right here in the book. It is right here in the book. How could Jacob have stolen Esau's blessing or his birthright when he sold it to him? Said he was out in the field, he was about to starve to death. You're out in the field one day and you're going to starve to death? Let you know he's just like us. Read. Genesis 27, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Genesis 27 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here I am. And he said, Behold now, I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison.
See, because Esau was a hunter, and so Jacob wants some deer now. Go ahead and read.
Verse 4. And make me some savory meat, so as I love, and bring it to me, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die.
And see, this was Isaac's, this is what Isaac's supposed to do. He was supposed to bless the eldest son, or the oldest son. So he told him, go on out and give me some deer, bring it back, and I'm going to bless you. Because this is how it's supposed to go. The oldest son is supposed to get the blessing. Go ahead and read. Although they were twins. But Rebekah heard, Isaac's wife, Rebekah heard what Isaac had told to Esau. So the book has said that the elder is going to serve the younger. So this is how the Lord put it together. He's going to have Rebekah go and dress up Jacob like Esau. Verse 5. Go ahead and read.
5. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it.
Now, so Rebekah heard what Isaac had said. So now she's getting ready to dress up Jacob like Esau. So Esau, being the youngest, can get, not Esau, but Jacob, she's going to get ready to dress up Jacob like Esau so Jacob can get the blessing. Because the elder is supposed to serve the younger. Skip down to verse 15. Skip to verse 15. Go ahead and read.
15. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck.
So she hooking him up. You're going to feel like Esau, Jacob, and everything. You're going to smell like him and everything. Go ahead and read.
17. And she gave the savory meat and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn.
Now he said, I am Esau, thy firstborn. But it's Jacob, right? Go ahead and read.
I am Esau.
Because, you know, Isaac, he can't see. He can hear, but he can't see. So he the voice sounds like Jacob's voice, but the hands and everything feel like Esau. So he went on and blessed him. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. It says, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me.
Go ahead.
And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me.
He thought it something quick, didn't he? Although the mama had already hooked the meat up and everything and gave it to Jacob to take to Isaac. So he can get the blessing. So he said, the Lord brought it to me. Verse 21, go ahead.
And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near to Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.
See, but the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. Esau must have been really hairy. So the mama done hooked him up with some fur, right? Y'all excuse me, I don't mean no harm. So she done hooked him up, right? Hooked his hands up and everything. He got fur on. But Esau was red and hairy all over, the book says, right? Don't get upset, Esau. Go ahead and read. What verse you at?
23.
Uh-huh.
And he discerned him not, because his hands was very hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him.
So he did what?
He blessed him.
He blessed him. So the mama knew what she was doing, right? He said, it sounds like Jacob, but it feels like Esau. So he went on and blessed him. Skip to verse 28. Skip to verse 28. Go ahead and read it.
28.
Uh-huh.
Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee.
Now this is Jacob he's blessing now.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read.
Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
Look, he moved out, got out of there as soon as Esau was coming. Jacob got out of there. Verse 31, go ahead.
And he also had made savory meat, and brought it to his father.
Wait, I know his father would be like, what's going on here? I got some more meat to eat. Who is this? Go ahead and read.
And he also made savory meat and brought it to his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me.
Now this is Esau now. Isaac had already blessed Jacob. Now here comes Esau. Esau don't know what's going on. So he just, bringing the meat and everything. Go ahead and bless me, Father. Go ahead and read. 30. Now look at what Isaac said, verse 32,
32. And Isaac his father said to him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who?
He's like, who? Somebody just got blessed. Just blessed somebody. Who are you? Go ahead and read.
Where is he that have taken venison, and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yeah. And he shall be blessed.
And he shall be blessed. In other words, I can't take it back. It's done. It is done. So, but Esau had already sold Jacob the birthright, so with the birthright come the blessing. So now, Isaac like, look, where's he that brought me that venison? I ate all of it too. Then I turned around and blessed him. And yea, he is blessed. It's over with. Go ahead, Rudy.
34. 34.
Yes, sir.
And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing.
He said, your brother came with subtlety and took away your blessing. Because it's done. The blessing has already been given. Go ahead and read.
36.
And
he said, is not he rightly named Jacob?
Now this is Esau now. Go ahead.
For he has supplanted me this 2 times. He took away my birthright.
Stop right there. Did he take his birthright or did he sell it to him? And with the birthright come the blessing. What you gonna, how you gonna get the blessing and then give away the birthright? But see, Isaac don't understand what happened. He don't know what happened, so he blessed him, right? And so Esau now is talking about he has supplanted me. He has taken my birthright. No, you sold it to him. See, you might have been kidding around, but Jacob wasn't kidding around. Go ahead and read.
For he have supplanted me these 2 times. He have took away my birthright, And behold, now ye have taken away my blessing.
Go ahead.
And he said, hast thou not preserved the blessing for me?
Uh-huh.
And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants.
Go ahead.
And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Uh-huh.
And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father.
Uh-huh.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
I know he did. My birthright I sold, because that's what he did. And now my blessing has been given to my brother Jacob. And so now he's crying. Verse 39, go ahead and read.
39.
Because it's done. The blessing has gone out already, but he's going to give Esau a blessing as well. And look at what he's going to give him. Go ahead and read.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Now look, he said the fatness of the earth. Now what is this fatness of the earth? That consists of land and wealth. And this is what he gave Esau, wealth. And he still has it today. He still has that wealth today. So God has given him the mind to get money. This is the blessing that Esau had. He said, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
Go ahead.
And by thy word, and by thy sword, shalt thou live.
And by thy sword shall thou live. And don't you know Esau has one of the, if not the best air force in the world? Esau does. He's a warrior. He said, you're going to live by the sword,
And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother.
But you're going to serve your brother. And that's what's going to happen when the Lord returns. Esau is going to serve us. And not only is Esau, but all the nations are going to serve us. But he's going to be the first one. No, I ain't going to do that. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
This is the beginning of the divide right here. This is the beginning of the divide of Jacob and Esau. Read that verse 41 again, brother.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So this is the beginning of the divide between Jacob and Esau, right here. Now, let's go to Genesis, the 35th chapter. Genesis 35. Because you know, we read this last week, but we're going to read it again. Jacob's name was changed from Jacob to Israel. So we at 35 and 9. Genesis 35 and 9. Go ahead and read it.
Genesis chapter 35, verse 9. And God appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Padanaram and blessed him. And God said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name.
So he changed his name from Jacob to Israel, right? Go ahead and read.
And he called his name Israel.
And he called his name Israel. Go ahead and read.
And God said to him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac to thee, I will give it. And to thy seed after thee will I give the land.
So now he promises land to Abraham, Isaac, and now to Jacob. He promised them this land, and that is the land of Canaan. Let's go now. Because Esau, let's pick up Esau right here. So we're going right on into 36, and we're going to pick it up in verse 1. Everybody just follow along. I hope you brought a lunch today. No, I'm just kidding. Just follow along. Okay? Genesis 36 and 1. It's going to get interesting in a minute. We got to lay down the groundwork for it first. Genesis 36, and we're going to pick it up in verse 1. So now, we're going to pick up Esau. Y'all notice I did Jacob first, right? Because through Jacob came the promise. So now we're going to Esau. No, because Esau is not the son of the promise. Jacob, from his father, Isaac, is the son of the promise. And then Jacob had the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So now we're going to deal with Edom a little bit. 36 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Genesis chapter 36, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Now these are the generations of Esau,
Uh-huh.
who is Edom?
Who is Edom? Esau is Edom. Does everybody understand that? Now pay attention now. Now, could Esau possibly be the white man? How could he be? This is Jacob's twin brother. Esau is a Hebrew. Jacob is a Hebrew. Gentiles are not Hebrews. Does everybody understand? I know y'all understand, but I just got to keep saying that. Because our brothers think that Esau is the Gentile or the white man. Which he comes out of Shem. He's Semitic. He's a Hebrew. But he's also an Edomite. Not an Israelite or a Jew, but an Edomite. Now these are the generation of Esau. Who is Edom? Go ahead and read.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Esau took his wives of daughters of Canaan.
Now wait a minute, slow down a little bit. You see who he took his daughters from? Canaan. Those are African people. So Esau got his wife from the daughters of Canaan. Go ahead and read.
Ada, and the daughter of Elam,
Uh-huh.
the Hittite,
Go ahead.
and Ahulabama,
Uh-huh.
the daughter of Anah, and the daughter of Zebion, the Hivite,
Uh-huh.
and Beshemath, Ishmael, daughter, sister of
Now
Nebuchadnezzar.
look, he done took a wife of the daughters of Ishmael. Keeping it in the family now. Ishmael is the uncle. Right? So now he took one of his daughters. And what would that child be if Esau laid with the daughter of Ishmael and they had a child? What would that child be?
Ishmael.
An Edomite. If the father is an Edomite and he took a wife of Ishmael, then the child would be what? An Edomite. That's it for Ishmael, right? Y'all paying attention? Go ahead and read. What verse you at?
3.
Uh-huh.
And Beshemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebuchadnezzar, and Ada bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Beshemath
Uh-huh.
bare Ruel.
Now I wonder if this Eliphaz, the one that's over in Job, that was Job, one of Job's friends, was Eliphaz. And the book called him Edomite. I wonder is this the same one? But anyway, go ahead and read.
And Aholabama
Uh-huh.
bare Juash, and Jalium, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born to him in the land of Canaan.
Go ahead. Now you see what land he was in? The land of Canaan. Those are African people or Hamitic people. This is where Esau is. And this is where he got his wives from. Go ahead and read.
And Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and his beasts and all his beasts and all his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went to the country from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together The land wherein thy were strangers could not bear them because of their kind.
Now look, they both rich at this time. So they like, just like Abraham and Lot. They both were rich. So they like, let's part from each other because, your herdsman getting into it with my herdsman and everything. And it's too much. So we're going to have to part. So that's what happened with Jacob and Esau right here. They parted. Because they had so much riches. Because didn't he give them the dew from heaven and the fatness of the earth?
Come on.
Verse 8, go ahead and read.
Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
He dwelt where?
Mount Seir.
In Mount Seir. Remember that name. He says, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
Esau is Edom.
Esau is Edom. Verse 9, go ahead.
These are the generations of Esau, the father of Edomites.
The father of who?
Edomites.
The Edomites.
In Mount Seir.
In Mount Seir. Esau is the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. Skip now. Skip to verse 15. Skip to verse 15. Go ahead and read it.
These were dukes of the sons of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau. Duke, T-Man.
Duke T-Man. Now remember that name. Duke T-Man. Go ahead and read.
Duke Omar. Duke Zebah.
Go ahead.
Duke Kenaz.
Duke. Skip to verse 25. We ain't gonna read all these dukes. Too many of them. I just want to hit and quit it. So, I just want to hit these names with like T-Man. We're going to see him later. Bozrah. Skip to verse 25. Skip to verse 25. Go ahead.
And the children of Anah were these Dishon and Hullabamah, the daughter of Anah. And these are the children of Dishon.
Skip to verse, skip to verse 33, I should have said. Verse 33. Go ahead.
And Bela died, and Jobab the son of Zerah of Bozrah reigned in his state.
Now Bozrah, that is a country in Edom. Does everybody just pay attention now? We laying the foundation. So when you see these names later on, you know that these are the sons of Esau. These are Edomites, T-Man, Bozrah. All right, now let's go to. We're going to look at a map right here. We're going to look at that first map. All right. Shalom. So now, we're looking at Edom right here. Uh-oh, my pointer not working. We're looking at Edom right here. This is Edom right here. Here's T-Man. Here's Bozrah. And this is when the children of Israel came through Sinai. This is the King's Highway right here. Went on to this Petra. You're going to see this later. Thank you, brother. Now I got to find out how to work it.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So now, they came out of Mount Sinai, and this is the way they wanted to go through the King's Highway to go through Edom. And Edom told them, no, you can't come through this way. Because if you do, we're going to bring the swords out with you. Notice this city, Petra, right here. Here's Canaan. This is the land of Israel right here. But it's Canaan now. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Look over here, see Canaan, Judah, Hebron right there. Just notice all these names right here. I'm calling out right here. So this is Edom, right? Look at the Nebuchadnezzar right there. Everybody pay attention to what we're dealing with right here. We still laying the groundwork. Let's go now. Let's go to Numbers, the 20th chapter, because, the children of Israel wanted to come through here when they came out of Egypt through the King's Highway and come up through Edom. And Edom like, And Moses was very humble when he came to send letters to the king of Edom. So we're going to Numbers, the 20th chapter, Numbers 20. And we're going to pick it up in verse 14. Numbers 20 and 14. Numbers 20 and 14. Will you get it, brother? Go ahead and start reading.
Numbers chapter 20, verse 14. And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith thy brother Israel.
Thus saith thy brother Israel, because these two are twins. They are twins. And by the way, Esau and Jacob made up. I think that's Genesis 33rd chapter. They made up. Jacob was didn't really want to see Esau because he feared him. But once Esau came and they met, they hugged each other and wept and everything, and they made up. And then Esau was like, well, who is all these people you got with you? And Jacob started explaining, these my wives and my kids and everything. I can imagine that Esau started hugging them, hey, how you doing? You know, looking at his nephews and all of that, right? So they had made up. But his children still had animosity towards their brother Israel. Esau still had animosity towards Israel. And here we are some years later, right? And now look what happened. Verse 14, pick it up again, my brother.
And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith thy brother Israel, thou know of all the travel that have befallen us.
He said, you know all the travail that happened to us when we were in Egypt. And then the Lord beat down Egypt and let us go. Go ahead and read.
How our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time. And the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers.
Go ahead.
And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and have brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border.
Go ahead.
Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country.
See, so he said, let us pass through your country. Go ahead and read.
We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards. Neither will we drink of the water of the well.
Go ahead.
We will go by the king's highway.
We will go by the king's highway. See, that's why I showed you on the map the king's highway. We just want to go through the land. We're not going to drink none of your water. We're not going to go through those fields or none of that. We just going to go through the king's highway. Let us through. We're brothers. Twin brothers. Go ahead and read.
We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed thy border.
Go ahead.
And Edom said unto him, thou shalt not pass by me.
Thou shalt not pass by me. You're not coming through him. He still has animosity with his brother. Go ahead and read.
Lest I come out against thee with the sword.
Lest I come out against thee with the sword. Didn't Isaac tell Esau, you won't live by the sword? So Edom like, no, you're not coming through here, because if you do, we're going to come out against you with a sword. In other words, we're going to start killing y'all. Verse 19, go ahead and read.
And the children of Israel said unto him, we will go by the highway.
Go ahead.
And
we said again, we're going to go by the highway, man. We're not going to come through your territory. We're going to go through the king's highway. Go ahead and read.
And if I and my cattle drink of thy water, then I will pay for it.
Go ahead.
I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet. And he said, thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand.
Look, here we are relatives, and now you won't even let me come through your land. I just want to go through it. I'm not trying to settle there. I'm trying to go through it. And so now here they come out against the children of Israel. Verse 21. Go ahead and read it.
Thus Edom refused to give Israel's passage through his border. Before Israel turned away from him.
Go ahead.
And the children of Israel, leaving the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came into Mount Hor. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying.
Now, we're not going to even get off into that. But you see how Edom did not want to let Israel through his land? Still holding animosity against him. And he did this throughout the centuries. Even today, he still has animosity. Go ask some of the artists, the record artists, and see. But I got a surprise for you at the end of this lesson. So everybody just hold on to your seats. It's going to get interesting in a minute. Let's go now. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Because you know the Lord had told the children of Israel, if you keep my commandments, I'm going to bless you. If you don't, I'm going to curse you. Now you know we got to put that in here. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Deuteronomy 28 and 1. When you get it, Go ahead and read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Now, can you imagine that? Above Israel, above all nations of the earth?
Yes, sir.
Everybody would have come to us for everything. Above all the nations of the earth. Go ahead and read.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
Go ahead.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy
See,
ground.
your children are going to be blessed. The ground that you walk on, that you plant your crops on, it's going to be blessed. Go ahead and read.
And the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind,
Go ahead.
and the flocks of thy sheep.
Everything you got, Israel, I'm going to bless it. I'm going to bless it, even your children. Skip to verse 15. Skip to verse 15. Go ahead and read. Because if you don't keep my commandments, go ahead and read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his
See, you see what he
statutes.
said? All his commandments. They don't mean for you to do 9 of them and then drop one, like the Sabbath. He said all his commandments, right? It don't mean for you to add one, drop one, and then try to add 2. He said all his commandments, right? Go ahead and read.
Do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now look, if you don't keep my commandments, all these curses going to come over you and overtake you. Go ahead and read.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
So now he just reversed it. Everything you do, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to curse you. Skip to verse 25. Skip to verse 25. Go ahead.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Now I got a question for you. That one that called himself a Jew, has he been removed into all the kingdoms of the earth? There's only one people that's been removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, and that is our people. We have been removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. That is a fact, and that's something that you cannot get around. Right. Skip to verse 36. Skip to verse 36. Go ahead and read.
36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
And look, that one that called himself a Jew, he's not serving everybody else's God. How many Baptists you see Edomites, or the one that called himself a Jew? How many of them you see call themselves Baptists or Methodists? You don't see that, do you? Now the ones take our people, we're in all religions. If you don't let us in there, we're going to call you racist and protest you too. Because you won't let us serve your false God. Skip to verse 43. So he said you're going to serve other gods, wood and stone. Verse 43. Go ahead and read.
43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Now Israel, you're going to come up, you're going to come down low, and the stranger, he's going to be high over you. Look at the people that come to this country. When they come here, what do? They set up businesses. They set up communities. Well, take our people, what do? We set up communities, but the businesses look like somebody else. Not us. They look like somebody else. Go ahead and read.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Now, we just did a lesson on this not too long ago about our loaning institutions, and we got less than 50 banks here in America. Edom ain't gonna tell her how many banks he got. He owns the loan institute. You take the Federal Reserve, he's the one who started that. Do I need to say any more? No. He is the one who founded the Federal Reserve. Who issues out the money to the United States and Britain and other countries. It is the Federal Reserve, which was founded by the ones that call themselves Jews. Who owns HBO and all the medias? The major media. The ones that call themselves Jews. Who owns the four largest major newspaper magazine? It is the one that call themselves the Jew. And I can go on and on. Go ahead and read.
Verse 44.
Uh-huh.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Now he said, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. So in other words, he's going to loan, but you, Israel, you're not going to loan nobody nothing. Because if I loan you $10, I want my $10 back. You understand? All of it. No excuses, you understand, when I gave it to you. So I want the excuses when I get my money back. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Go ahead and read.
He shall be the head,
Uh-huh.
and thou shalt be the tail.
He said, look, you're going to be the tail, Israel. You're going to be the tail. He's going to be the head, you're going to be the tail. Verse 45, go ahead and read.
Moreover,
Uh-huh.
all these curses shall come upon thee,
Uh-huh.
and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee,
Uh-huh.
till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Uh-huh.
to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Uh-huh.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder,
Uh-huh.
and upon thy seed forever.
So now this is how you identify the children of Israel, by these signs. You understand these curses right here? This is how you identify the children of Israel, by these curses. And everybody knows now that we fit these curses. We fit these curses. The one that calls himself a Jew, he don't fit these curses. Let's go now. Let's go to Psalms 105. Psalms 105. Psalm 105. You need volume, what you need? Battery? Psalm 105. Psalm 105. We'll give Brother Kenneth a chance to get those batteries in there. Psalm 105. Is everybody paying attention so far? I'm going to try not to make this long and drawn out.
Testing.
You need some volume?
Let's go.
All right, Psalms 105, and we'll pick it up at verse 6. Psalms 105 and verse 6. Go ahead and read.
Psalms chapter 105, verse 6. O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen.
You children of Jacob, his chosen. Skip to verse 8. Skip to verse 8.
Ye have remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. Which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac.
So this covenant will not be broken right here. He said which covenant he made unto Abraham. First he told him, verse 8, he said he had remembered his covenant forever. The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. So this covenant stands forever. Which covenant he made with Abraham and with his oath with Isaac. Verse 10.
And confirmed the same to Jacob for a law.
And he confirmed the same to Jacob for a law. What's that covenant? Go ahead and read.
And to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
Now he confirmed his covenant with Israel now. Go ahead and read.
Saying, to thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance.
I will give you the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. So now, if Israel is not on that land now, then that means he got to come back one day. So y'all come on out to the Black History event June 28th, and then I'll give you the rest of it. So now, he gave them that land of Canaan for an inheritance forever. Now, let's go now. Let's go look at something right here. Let's go look at this map of Israel. This is the map of Israel, and this is how he divvied up the land right here. You got Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh. And so Manasseh went with Zebulun over here, half of Manasseh over here, half over here. Ephraim, which is Joseph's child, Dan, Gad, right? Reuben, Judah, Simeon, and so on and so forth. But now notice who you got right here. The Edomites. Israel has settled in the land, and Edomites still sitting there, right? They still sitting there. So, you know, it was nothing for an Edomite to walk into southern Judah right there. It was nothing for them to walk into southern Judah. Now keep this in mind, how close they are together. And they are brothers, right? Although he wouldn't let Israel in his land, Israel let him come in his land. When he was being persecuted and destroyed, he ran right up into Edom. But we're going to get to that. I'm going a little ahead of myself. Now, let's go look at this land real quick. Let's go to Ezekiel the 20th chapter, because you know, when the Lord gives you something, it's the best. Amen. He gave the children of Israel the best. So we're going over to Ezekiel the 20th chapter, Ezekiel the 20, and we're going to pick it up at verse 2. Ezekiel 20 and verse 2. Because you know they had went and spied out the land and everything, and then they came back. Joshua and Caleb came back with a good report, but the other men were like, look, those we like grasshopper in the sight of these people. But Joshua and Caleb were like, man, look, we can go take this land. God had told them, y'all go take the land. But the rest of the people was like, no, we can't take it because, you know, we're grasshopper in their sight and all this stuff. But look what the Lord called this land right here. We Ezekiel 20 and 2. Ezekiel 20 and 2. Go ahead and read it.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Then came the word of the Lord unto me, saying, Son of man, speaking to the elders of Israel, and say unto them, Thus said the Lord God, Are ye come to inquire of me? As I live, saith the Lord God, I will not be inquired of by you. Wilt thou judge them, son of man? Wilt thou judge them? Cause them to know the abominations of their fathers. You know, so Israel got in trouble at this time with the Lord. So I didn't really come here to show you all this, but I'm just trying to show you. But a lot of times you just can't help it. Because Israel messed up a lot. We messed up a lot. But go ahead and read. Verse 5. And saying to them, Thus said the Lord God, In the day when I chose Israel and lifted up my hand unto the seed of the house of Jacob, and made myself known unto them in the land of Egypt, when I lifted up mine hand unto them, saying, I am the Lord your God. In the day that I lifted up my hand unto them, to bring them forth out of the land of Egypt. I brought them out of the land of Egypt. What did he do? Into a land that I had espied for them. He said, to a land that I had spied unto them, because you know the land was so fruitful and beautiful and everything. Like I told you last week, they had to take 2 men to take 1 cluster of grapes out of there. The land was so fruitful, they had to carry it on a stick. 2 men had to carry it. So the land was so beautiful and so fruitful. Say it was a land like flowing like milk and honey. Keep reading. Flowing with milk and honey. Which is the glory of all lands. It was the glory of all lands. This is why everybody fighting over this land. Esau fighting over it. The Ishmaelites fighting over it. You understand? But the Moabites, they can't do nothing now. The Ammonites, everybody's fighting over this land because it was the glory. It is the glory of all lands. And the Lord is going to give the land back to who it belongs to.
He's going to get his land back to the children of Israel, because that's what. So this land was like the land flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all the. You see what the Lord said? The glory of all lands. That means this land was better than any lands on the planet. And this is why Esau and Ishmael conspired to get this land. That's why they're sitting on the land now. But the Lord is going to do something about that. Let's go now. Let's go to Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50, and we're going to pick it up at verse 17. Jeremiah 50 and 17. So the Lord had given the children of Israel the land, but then they started to go into captivity. You understand? The Assyrians took them into captivity. They had just got out of captivity out of Egypt. Then they was in the wilderness for 40 years. Then they went into the land. And so when they went into the land, they started going into captivity. Like I said, the Assyrians grabbed them. Then here come the Babylonians. They started grabbing them because they kept sinning against the Lord. So now let's pick this up in Jeremiah 50 and verse 17. Verse 17. Go ahead and read it.
Jeremiah chapter 50. Verse 17. Israel is a scattered sheep.
See, at this time now, Israel had been taken into slavery. Some of them have been taken into slavery. So Israel is a scattered sheep.
The lions have driven them away. First the king of Assyria had devoured him.
First the king of Assyria came in and took some of the Israelites out.
And last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has broken his bones.
And Nebuchadnezzar came in like 3 times and removed and took the children of Israel in captivity. Now we're going to show you a picture right here of the Israelites in the Assyrian captivity and then the Babylonian captivity. Here's the Assyrian captivity right here, and this is the Babylonian captivity. Now look, who they look like? Do these look like Gentiles to you? Does this look like the one that called himself a Jew today? This don't look like him, does it? These people look black right here. They look just like you and I, except they got beards. You understand? Thick beards. They look like braids, but we understand that they, made this up the best they could. So now, look at this hair right here. That is what we call, should I dare say?
No.
Okay. Snappy hair. Okay, just to show you that these are black people right here. These are black people. And this is the time during the Assyrian captivity. And these men right here are from the Babylonian captivity. This is still the Assyrian captivity. I just gave you a close-up to show you that these two, look at these braids in their hair. Locks. Just like the Bible talks about. Now, if you want the rest of this, you're going to have to come to the Black History event, June the 28th. Okay? So now, let's go on. So now, those were the Israelites in the Babylonian and Assyrian captivity and the Babylonian captivity, and those people looked black, just like you and I. I imagine if my hair could grow, I would probably grow some locks, but my hair won't grow. Let's go now. Let's go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Daniel 2. Is everybody still following along? Amen. Daniel, the 2nd chapter, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Because Nebuchadnezzar over here had a dream. And Daniel is going to tell him what this dream was that he had. Daniel 2 and 1. Daniel 2 and 1. Go ahead and read, because we just read about him going in, Nebuchadnezzar took them into Babylonia, right? So now we're going to read a little bit about Nebuchadnezzar and this dream that he had, because Daniel is going to interpret this dream. Now, we're at Daniel 2 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Daniel chapter 2, verse 1. In the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans, for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king.
Now, you know, he got his astrologers, magicians, and all this stuff, and the soothsayer and the sorcerers. They couldn't answer his dream. So he's like, you know what? If y'all won't answer my dream, then I'm going to start killing y'all. And then I'm going to make your houses an outhouse. So in the meantime, here comes Daniel. Daniel like, hey, what's the haste? What's going on? Bring me into the king. Let me talk with him for a minute. Right? And so Daniel said, you know what? I can interpret your dream, king. Just give me a day or two. So he probably said a day or two. Give me a few minutes or whatever. Give me a while, and then I will interpret your dream for you. So now we're going straight to the interpretation of the dream. Skip to verse 36. Verse 36. Go ahead and read.
This is the dream. And we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king.
Go ahead.
Thou, O king, art king of kings.
Thou, O king, art king of kings. He's talking to Nebuchadnezzar right now. You are the king of kings. Go ahead and read.
For the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength,
go ahead,
and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven hath he given unto thine hand.
Stop right there. That means then that Nebuchadnezzar was a world ruler. Because he said, whosoever and wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the air, the fowls of heaven have he given into thy hand. So Nebuchadnezzar was the first world ruler, a Gentile. Now, does this have anything to do with Edom? This don't have nothing to do with Edom. We're looking at Gentiles right here, what we commonly know as Caucasian people. And that's what Nebuchadnezzar, this don't have nothing to do with Esau and the Edomites. So now Nebuchadnezzar is the first world ruler. Go ahead and read.
Says back at 38. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art his head of gold.
Thou art this head of gold. Nebuchadnezzar, like I said, the first world ruler. Now he's going to tell them about some more kingdoms that's going to come up after him. Go ahead and read.
And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee.
Now what kingdom would that be? That would be the Medes and the Persians. Right? The Medes and the Persians came up after the Greeks. Go ahead and read.
And another third kingdom of brass.
Now another third kingdom of brass, who would that be? That would be the Greeks. Because the Greeks took over from the Medes and the Persians. Medes and Persians, one kingdom. Okay? One rulership. Then that third kingdom would be the Greeks. They came, Alexander the Great came and took over everything and everybody, all up in Egypt. Egyptians started calling him the first Pharaoh. But he was a Gentile. What we commonly know as white people. This ain't got nothing to do with Esau. So that third kingdom would be Alexander the Great. So he died when he was like 32, 33 years old. He had conquered the world. In fact, he killed so many people and conquered so many countries, man. But here comes somebody up badder than him. Go ahead and read.
And another third kingdom of brass which shall bear rule over all the earth. In the fourth kingdom.
Now you see what he said? Shall bear rule over all the earth. Verse 40, go ahead.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
Stop right there. Now he said, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. Who is this fourth kingdom? It is Rome. Because Rome ruled after the Greeks. In fact, they took on a lot of their art and everything. Buildings and all of this. The Romans did. So that's the fourth kingdom we're looking at. It is Rome. Go ahead and read that again.
40.
Uh-huh.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
Uh-huh.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things,
Uh-huh.
and as iron that breaketh all these,
Uh-huh.
shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Now we're going to stop right there, and we're going to read you something about the Romans. So we're going to the Atlas of the Bible. We're going to the Atlas of the Bible. We're going to read about Rome. Now, we're going to do some reading here, so y'all just bear with me. Okay? You know, I told some of y'all we're going to have a history today, didn't I? Okay. So we're reading history. Now we get ready to read about the Romans taking it over from the Greeks. All right, so just bear with me. Pay attention.
This is Atlas of the Bible. It says the rise of Rome. Page 162. One expansionist strategy that stood Rome in good stead was divide and conquer.
See, that's what their strategy was. Divide and conquer. Them boys was bad too, boy. Them Romans.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read.
This strategy was used
Anytime you take over the world from a person that already was ruling the world, you got to be bad. And the book just called him a terrible beast. Daniel called him a terrible beast. Go ahead and read some more.
This strategy was used against the two great Eastern powers. The successor states of Alexander the Great.
The successor states of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was a Greek ruler. He was a Greek ruler. Go ahead and read. His father was king over Macedonia, right? And so Macedonia took over the Greeks. And Alexander was ruler over the Greeks as well as the rest of the known world. Go ahead and read.
This strategy was used against the two great Eastern powers, the successor states of Alexander the Great, Philip versus Macedonia, and Antiochus III's Seleucid Empire. Says Rome defeated the Macedonians.
Rome defeated the Macedonians because that's what Alexander the Great's father was. He's a ruler over Macedonia, and then Alexander became a ruler over Macedonia and the Greeks. Go ahead and read.
Rome defeated the Macedonians in Thessaly in 197.
And when?
In 197.
Notice how we're coming down now. We're coming down the time now. We're at 197 BC. Go ahead.
The confederation of Greek city-states, known as the Achaean League, was golden into revolting against the Roman protector and crushed.
And what?
And crushed.
And crushed. He crushed the Greeks. Go ahead and read.
Epirus was devastated and 150,000 citizens enslaved. Corinth.
See, they weren't playing on. Can you imagine seeing 150,000 people? We got them in slavery. Now these are Gentiles enslaving Gentiles. Go ahead and read.
Corinth was sacked and its treasure carried off.
Now look, they plundered the city. They in Corinth now. They taking the treasures from Corinth. You know the Corinthians that Paul was teaching? Go ahead and read.
And this treasure was carried off. Southern Greece became the Roman province.
Southern Greece became the Roman province. So that's who took over after the Greeks. It was the Romans. And the Romans didn't play, but they were in there crushing people. Go ahead and read some more.
Became the Roman province of Achaia. In the year 70.
Now wait a minute now. We'll come down from 192 BC? Now we at 70 BC. We're getting on down. We're going to get down to the 1st century. Just hold on a minute. Because it's getting ready to get interesting now. Go ahead and read some more.
In the year 70, the rich businessman Crassus, the general Pompey.
Now the general Pompey Pompey. Go ahead.
a youthful associate of Sullus.
Uh-huh.
Sullus became the ruling consuls. Probate rise to power and had been rapid. He was a vigorous soldier, already known as the beardless executioner.
Now let's talk about Pompey. He was known as the beardless executioner. This is how ruthless he was. He was a general. Go ahead and read.
The beardless executioner for the aggressive way he had carried out his mentor's orders. Styling himself the great Pompey.
You see, he styled himself there. Wasn't nobody else calling him that. He called himself that. I'm the great Pompey. Go ahead and read.
Styling himself the great Pompey, extended the Roman presence from the Caspian Sea to the Euphrates River.
Now look, he's still conquering the Caspian Sea to the Euphrates River. Go ahead and read.
Adding the provinces of Bithynia and Pontus to the growing empire. In 64, he had took Antioch.
Now wait a minute. Now we down to 64 BC now. In 64, he did what?
In 64, he took Antioch in Syria, bringing down the final curtain on the already weakened Seleucid Empire. With his power and army behind him, Pompey now turned southward toward Judea.
He turned southward now. Towards where?
Judea.
Judea. Where's Judea? That's in Israel, right? Now he's getting ready to take over Israel. Go ahead.
Upon Alexander Janneus.
Alexander who?
Janneus.
Now, he's supposed to be Hasmonean. It's supposed to be from the Maccabees family. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that, but nevertheless. Go ahead and read.
Upon Alexander Janneus' death in 76 BC, he was succeeded by his widow, Salem Alexandria, Hyrcanus II, Hyrcanus II.
Now, Hyrcanus II.
Yeah,
now keep that in mind. So now we down now to around the 76 BC. Then we're gonna go down some more. So now Hyrcanus II. Keep that in mind. Now we're going to the Illustrated Bible Dictionary. And we're going to start it over again. We're going to start reading up here again. And then we're going to read to right there. Just hold on a minute. Y'all hang in there with me for a minute. Because, you know, when the Babylonians came in and started destroying Jerusalem, but Esau was standing there cheering them on. So go ahead and read.
Yeah, this is the Illustrated Bible Dictionary. Page 411.
Yep.
Excuse me. After the fall of Judah, Edom rejoiced.
After the fall of Judah, Edom rejoiced. Now this is during time of Babylonian, but just hold on a minute. Go ahead.
The prophets foretold judgment on Edom for her bitter hatred. Some Edomites pressed into South Judah.
So wait a minute. Some Edomites pressed into South Judah. Can we get that map up? The map. So now the Edomites pressed into South Judah. This is South Judah right here. Right? Right up in here. This is South Judah. So they just walked right on up in when they started being destroyed. Remember, they are the ones who have said, yeah, kill them. Edom was our twin brother. Go ahead and read.
Some Edomites pressed into South Judah and settled to the south.
And remember, they wouldn't let Israel through their land, right? Now they want to come up in Judah now. But you know, us being gracious people and, you know, forgiving people, we let them come on in. Go ahead and read.
Some Edomites pressed into South Judah and settled to the south of Hebron, Idomia.
Now hold on. This is the Greek name for Edom, which is Idomia. Go ahead and read. This is what they named them. This is what the Greeks named them, Idomia.
Edom proper fell into Arab hands.
Wait a minute. Edom, Arab, Esau, and Ishmael, still together. Esau, now here we are down in like 30-something BC. Esau and Ishmael and Israel, because they came into Judah, right? Now Esau is the uncle. Ishmael is the uncle. Esau and Jacob, they brothers. And here they are still clustered together at this time. Go ahead and read.
Edom proper fell into Arab hands during the 5th century BC. And in the 3rd century BC was overrun by the Nabateans.
Remember we saw that on the map, the Nabateans? Those are Arabs. Go ahead and read.
Through these centuries, yet other Edomites fled to Judah.
Through the centuries, other Edomites fled right into Judah. So there wasn't nothing for them to run right on up into Judah. Southern Judah. Go ahead and read.
Judah's Maccabees later subdued them.
So Judah's Maccabees, he's supposed to later, he caught some of them and said, hey, that's enough of y'all. Right? Go ahead and read.
John Hyrcanus compelled them.
Now wait a minute, John Hyrcanus. That is the other Hyrcanus we read about, the second. This is his brother. John Hyrcanus. Go ahead and read.
Compelled them to be circumcised.
Wait a minute. So now they were brought up into Judah, right? Maccabee told them, hey, that's enough of y'all. But now John Hyrcanus compelled these Edomites that came up into Judah to be circumcised. They're getting ready to take on Israel's culture now. Is everybody paying attention to this? So now, John Hyrcanus, y'all come on in, but y'all got to be circumcised. Can you imagine that? Israel calling the shots over Edom? But Edom's so scared because of the Arabs, they come running up. Now we're going to run to our twin brother and see if he'll help us. Okay, y'all want to come? Y'all got to be circumcised. Now pay attention to what you read. Start it over again, my brother.
John Hyrcanus compelled them to be circumcised and incorporated into the Jewish people.
You see what happened? John Hyrcanus incorporated them. First he got them circumcised, then he incorporated them into the Jewish people. Now they live alongside, next door neighbors to Israel, their twin brother, the Edomites, living in Jerusalem in southern Judah with his twin brother. And the Arabs, his uncle, on his heels. You finished that?
The Herods were of general Edomite stock.
Wait a minute. The Herods were of general Edomite stock. So the Herod dynasty, which lasted from like 32, 33 BC all the way up to 92 BC, we're looking at Edomites. Is everybody paying attention?
Amen.
Now, before we get to the Herodian dynasty, I want to show you something about the Edomites, because they always conspired, because that land was the glory of all lands, right? So they always conspired. Esau and Ishmael always conspired to get that land. And they got it. The same people that we're reading about are the same people that's in that land that's running it right now. Esau and Ishmael, or the Arabs. Same people running it now. But before we get to Herod, let's go to Psalms 83rd chapter. So Herod was an Edomite, right? But they've always conspired to get this land. We at Psalm 83 now. Psalm 83, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Psalm 83 and 1. Because all the way back here Edom wanted the land. And Ishmael too. Go ahead and read. 83 and 1. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 83, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
Uh-huh.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
You see what he said? Thy enemies make a tumult. Go ahead.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
See that? Look, God hated Esau, and Esau hated God. Everybody paying attention to what we read? Somebody didn't see that. Read that again, brother.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Uh-huh.
Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
Go ahead.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Uh-huh.
They that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Now he said, they that hate thee have lifted up their head. So Esau hates God. Ishmael hates the God of Israel. Now you know Ishmael got circumcised by Abraham, right? And so he's supposed to be following after the God of Israel. And Esau's supposed to be following the God of Israel too. They're not Israelites, but they're supposed to be following the God of Israel. But he said they hate him. Keep reading.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Uh-huh.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy hidden ones. We are still, for the most part, hid even today. We're the only ones that call us the children of Israel. Everybody else got a pet name for us. If you want to see what I'm talking about, then come to the Black History event on June 28th. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Uh-huh.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
See, they want to cut Israel off. I mean, they want to kill every last one of them. That the name of Israel would be no more in remembrance. But that was their idea. God ain't, this is my people. Don't you know salvation is of the Jews? So they want to cut Israel off. Keep reading.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
Uh-huh.
They are confederate against thee.
Uh-huh.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Stop right there. You see who's on the top of the list? Edom. Our twin brother. Who else?
And the Ishmaelites of Moab.
Stop right there. And the Ishmaelites of Moab. Who are the Ishmaelites? Those are the Arabs. These two still together. They hate one another. It's a love-hate relationship with these two. Because they still right there living amongst each other. Go ahead and read.
And the Israelites of Moab and the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes. Now, so you still got Edom and Ishmael together, even today. They're still together. And they're the ones who conspired against the Lord, against the children of Israel to get this land. Let's go now. Let's go to Psalm 137. Because when the Babylonians were destroying Jerusalem, look at what Edom said. Now this is twin brother, but then you want to run up into Judah when you start getting destroyed. Now you want to run up to Judah. But that just shows you how well, let me be quiet. First Psalm 137 and 7. I'm going to do like Sister Tiffany Hattie said, well, let me be quiet. Psalm 137 and 7. Go ahead and read it.
Psalms chapter 137, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem.
Now he said, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. What did Edom say?
Who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
He said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. In other words, tear it down. Talking about Jerusalem, tear it down. He said, raise it, even to the foundation. Go ahead and read.
O daughter of Babylon.
O daughter of Babylon,
You are to be destroyed.
See, they knew this. But I just want to let you see what time we're talking about. When Babylon came in and destroyed Jerusalem, they plundered the city, burnt it up, took all the riches and everything. And Edom was standing right there, raise it, tear it down. against his own twin brother because he was envious of his twin brother. Now look, the Lord had given Israel everything, even gave him the best land, the best food and everything, and Edom standing over there, he living in the wilderness, in the rocks. I'm going to show you. Go ahead and read.
Happy shall it be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Reward them as thou hast served us. Now, let's go now. Let's go to Jeremiah 49. Now let's read about Esau a little bit more. Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah 49, because Esau was ruthless. And he is a warrior, but he is ruthless when he starts warring. But, like Jeremiah wrote here, his seed is spoiled. We at Jeremiah 49 and 7, Jeremiah 49 and 7, and he's not going to get away with those things that he have done against his brother Israel. Jeremiah 49 and 7. Jeremiah 49 and 7. Go ahead and read it.
Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman?
Stop right there. Who is T-Man? That's Esau. He's an Edomite. That's why I read you this earlier. Concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in T-Man?
Is counsels perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?
Talk about Esau. Is his wisdom vanished? Go ahead and read.
Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him. And him the time that I will visit him.
See that? Lord got a time for it. He said, I'm going to bring calamity upon Esau the time that I visit him. Go ahead and read.
If grape gatherers come to thee, will they not leave some gleaning grapes?
Look at you know Esau, doesn't he? He said, look, if grape gatherers come, wouldn't they leave some grapes? Go ahead and read.
If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough.
So the thieves, when they come, they're going to destroy till they have enough. Esau, he ain't leaving nothing. He ain't leaving no grapes. He ain't leaving no ferns. He's taking everything. He is greedy like that. And still today, he is greedy like that. I don't mean to talk about you, Esau, but it's still, that's the way it is. Jeremiah talked about you first. I'm just repeating it. So now he said Esau is greedy. He's going to take everything. And you know, because we used to have a place we used to go down in Chicago called Jewtown. Some of y'all younger people don't remember that. Jewtown. We didn't know that we were actually Jews. But anyway, go ahead and read. Verse 10.
10. But I've made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret place.
See, we know who he is. We know where he is sitting. He said, I have made him bare, and I have uncovered his secret places.
He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled.
He's not going to be able to hide himself because his seed is spoiled. You can tell who he is by reading the book. That's how we know that Esau is not the Arabs. We know that Esau is not the Caucasian or the white man. We know this. Go ahead and read.
And his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Skip to verse 13. Skip to verse 13. Go ahead and read.
So
remember the book said, I love Jacob, but I hated Esau. And this is why his seed is spoiled. Verse 13. Go ahead.
For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord, that Bozrah shall become a desolation.
Stop right there. Remember I had you to read this earlier? Bozrah, T-Man and Bozrah, Mount Seir. So he said, for I have sworn by myself, said the Lord, that Bozrah should become a desolation. Go ahead and read.
A reproach, a waste, a curse, and a curse. And all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste.
Then he went in there and destroyed Edom. And so Edom started moving in to Judah, southern Judah. Bozrah, that is Edom or Esau. Skip to verse 15. Go ahead and read it.
For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men.
Go ahead.
Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart.
Go ahead.
O thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock.
Stop right there. See, he just put his hand right on him. Gave you a location as to where he is. He said, thy terribleness have deceived thee. You so bad, you so prideful. Your pride has deceived you, man. You have gone crazy. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart. Oh, that thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock. Go ahead and read.
That holdeth thy height up the hill. Though thou should make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord.
He said, I'm going to bring you down. You dwelling in the cleft of the rocks, like high as an eagle, but I'm going to bring you down. Go ahead and read.
Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished.
Go ahead.
And shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
Now, we're going to show you a town, because we saw it earlier. Let's see it now. Petra. This is Petra. This is one of the cities that we saw in Edom. Remember when I started pointing out those countries in Edom? This is a country in Edom called Petra. This is high in the mountains. The Edomites lived here in around 1200 BC. Then around 600 BC, here come the Nebuchadnezzar and took over, which are the Arabs, took over Petra. Kicked the Edomites out and took over Petra. The Nebuchadnezzar did around 600 BC. Then the Edomites were fleeing into Judah, because Judah is right above this, or just north of Petra. Does everybody understand? So now we got this city called Petra. Now we're supposed to read about Petra. Yeah, we're going to the sarcophagus. You can leave that up. The sarcophagus of an ancient people. And we're going to read about Petra a little bit. Just see where it is. Just so we can get a good location. It's called the sarcophagus of an ancient people.
Okay. It says Petra, as we have seen, was snugly nested among the sandstone rocks.
Now wait a minute. It is nestled snugly in the sandstone rocks. Where are these sandstone rocks?
Of Mount Seir.
Of Mount Seir. Who is Mount Seir? That's Edom, right? And so look at where this city Petra is. In Mount Seir. The Edomites. They dwelt here from 1200 BC all the way down to 600 BC. Then the Nebuchadnezzar came in, which are Arabs, took over Petra. And look, the Arabs are still there to this day. It's a tourist attraction. Now the Arabs still there. Edom never inhabited Petra again. You finished that?
It says, it says.
Start that over, brother.
Yeah, here we go. Petra, as we have seen, was snugly nestled among the sandstone rocks of Mount Seir, some 50 miles south of the Dead Sea.
Now, so you see what this Petra is. It is Mount Seir. Everybody follow along so far? Let's go now. Let's go to Matthew, the 2nd chapter, because we saw that Herod came after John Hyrcanus, right? Then he set up Herod, which was what? An Edomite. Let's go to Matthew, the 2nd chapter. Matthew, the 2nd chapter. And let's deal with Herod a little bit here. Matthew 2. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Matthew 2 and 1. Go ahead and read it.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 1. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem, of Judea.
Uh-huh.
In the days of Herod the king.
Now we got Herod the king right here. When Jesus was born. Go ahead and read. So now we're around 1 to 3 BC. Everybody understand? Go ahead and read.
Behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born king of Jews?
Where is he that is born the king of the Jews? Because I'm the king. So now how is he the king? This is what Herod is thinking. Go ahead and read.
We have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled.
Go ahead.
And all of Jerusalem with him.
See, because I'm the king, so they're supposed to be worshiping me. I'm the king. Go ahead and read.
And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea.
Bethlehem of Judea. What verse you at?
5.
Skip to verse 13. Go ahead.
And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt.
Well, wait a minute. Flee where?
To Egypt.
Why would they? If they look like the Jews today, why would they be fleeing to Egypt? Egyptians are black people. They're many people, right?
Yeah.
So he should have been sending him down into Macedonia or Greece somewhere, right? Or into Rome. If he looked like the ones that call themselves Jews today. So now he's sending him down into Egypt. Why? Because Jesus looked like this. He looked like us. Go ahead and read. Read that again.
13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod would seek the young child to destroy him.
See, he's not no baby no more. So he said he's going to seek the young child to destroy him. Go ahead and read.
14. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt.
Go ahead.
And was there until the death of Herod. That it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son.
Out of Egypt have I called my son. Verse 19. Go ahead and read it.
19. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared into a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel. For they are dead which sought the young child's life.
Now, we're going to show you a picture of 2 Herods here, because there was a Herodian dynasty from like around 32 BC all the way up to 92 BC. So we're just going to show you a couple of Herods. Do these look like these look like Gentiles right here, right? These look like white people. They don't look black like you and I, but they are Edomites, because we just read earlier that the Edomites that the Herodians or the Herods were Edomites, and they look white. Does everybody see this? Now, how they got this way, I don't know. I don't know. But I know that the Lord said that that's going to be, when Jacob and Esau were born, you're going to have 2 people, 2 nations, right? And the elders going to serve the younger. But now look how the Edomites look. They look, like Caucasian people, but they are indeed Hebrews. They are Semitic. They are not Israelites. Does everybody see this? These are Edomites from Esau. Now, let's go now. I don't want nobody to get mad at me. We're going to the sarcophagus of an ancient people again, and we're going to read about, now, don't get mad. We got some reading to do. Right here. Go ahead.
says, in 47 BC, Julius Caesar appointed Antipater, yeah, him, who was a clever but crafty Idumean.
Oh, wait a minute. A clever but crafty Idumean. Who is Idumean? I'll show you. Hold on one second. Just hold right there, Brother Caleb. I'm going to read this real quick. This is a Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, page 239, Idumea, pertaining to Edom, Greek and Roman name for Edom. That's who Idumea is. Go ahead and read.
Back at the top. In 47 BC, Julius Caesar appointed Antipater, who was a clever but crafty Idumean, a procurator of Judea.
See, he was a procurator of Judea. He was running things in Judea. An Idumean. Go ahead.
Samaria and Galilee. In 37 BC, the Roman Senate appointed Herod the king of the Jews.
What? They appointed him the king of the Jews. Go ahead and read some more.
Later, he came to be known as Herod the Greek. Herod, his turn, established his own brother-in-law, the Idumean Costobarus, a priest of Kozi, as ruler of Idumea and Gaza. This was the beginning of Herodian dynasty. Of the Herodian dynasty. Henceforth, the Idumeans was reckoned as Jews.
They was reckoned as what?
Jews.
Jews. Remember, they was already coming up into Judah already from Edom, right? Then they started setting up rulers, because the Romans was running it. They the ones who allowed the Idumeans to come in and set up over the Judeans. They allowed Edom to come in and set up over the Judeans. He said, henceforth from that time, that the Idumeans were reckoned as Jews. So they started calling themselves Jews.
Right.
Everybody paying attention now? Go ahead and read.
And their land was counted as one of the 11 tetrarchies of Judea.
Of Judea. Okay, so now we got the Edomites calling themselves Jews. Right? Now before we get back to the Jews, I want to show you what color Jesus was. Because I know that somebody gonna say that Jesus had blonde hair and blue eyes and he was light. Looked like a Gentile. So let's just clear this matter up. Let's go to Revelations 1, and we're going to pick up at verse 11. Revelations 1 and 11. So now, remember now, the Herodians were being called Jews. Does everybody understand what I'm saying, right? Revelations 1 and 11. Revelations 1 and 11. Go ahead and start reading.
Revelations chapter 1, verse 11. Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest, write in the book. And send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira.
What verse you at?
11.
Go ahead.
And unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
One like unto the Son of Man. Go ahead and read.
Clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
He must have been sharp. Go ahead and read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
His hair and his hair were white like what?
Wool.
Wool.
As white as snow.
Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now his feet like unto fine brass. Go ahead.
as if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burned in a furnace. Now you tell me what color is that? That's black. In fact, that is dark black. And I don't want to offend nobody, but blue black. Read that again. What verse you at?
Back in 14.
Uh-huh.
And his head and his hands was white like wool,
Uh-huh.
as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Go ahead.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as they burned in the furnace.
Uh-huh.
As if they burned in the furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
Now, his feet look like they have been burned brass in a furnace. So we know that that is black, right? So this is what color Jesus was. He was a black man. Looked just like me and you. Same DNA. But you got to find out that when you come to the Black History event, June the 28th. Let's go now, because the Jesus hung out. Well, I should say some of the Idumeans hung out with Jesus. And so the Idumeans also were going to try to kill Jesus with the Pharisees. But then here comes some more Idumeans that hung around Jesus. Let's go to Mark, the 3rd chapter. Mark 3. Mark 3, and we're going to pick it up at verse 6. Mark 3 and 6. We are almost there. Mark 3 and 6. When you get it, brother, start reading.
Mark chapter 3, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And the Pharisees went forth and straightway took counsel with Herodians against him,
Uh-huh.
how they might destroy him.
Now look, the Pharisees and the Herodians together now, getting ready to try to destroy Jesus. Now, can you imagine that? We got Esau and Jacob again together. And they trying to destroy the master. Go ahead and read.
But Jesus withdrew himself
Uh-huh.
with his disciples to the sea.
So you know that was a brother. He just slid on out the way. Go ahead and read.
And a great multitude from Galilee
Uh-huh.
followed him.
And a great multitude from Galilee followed him. Uh-huh.
And from Judea,
Uh-huh.
and from Jerusalem,
Uh-huh.
and from Idumea.
And from where?
Idumea.
So now you got some Idumeans following Jesus. They want to hear that word. They want to hear the word of the Lord. What verse you at?
8.
Go ahead.
And from beyond Jordan,
Uh-huh.
and they about Tyre and Sidon, a great multitude, when they had heard what great things he did,
Go ahead.
came into him.
Uh-huh. So now look, they trying to get blessings too. The Idumeans. Israel, you know they going something free, and you gonna help me? Yep. Yeah, I come. Here come the Idumeans too. They want to get blessed too. Go ahead and read.
Verse 9.
Uh-huh.
And he spake unto his disciples that a small ship should wait on him
Uh-huh.
because of the multitude,
Uh-huh.
lest they should throng him.
Now look, there's so many people out there, he had to go and get on a ship. Now you got Israelites there, and you got Idumeans there, waiting to hear or wanting to hear the word of the Lord. Let's go now. Let's go, because he said Idumeans, right? And we read earlier, Idumeans, that's the Greek name for Esau and his descendants, right? Let's go to Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. Ezekiel 36. And we're going to pick it up at verse 2. Ezekiel 36 and 2. We almost there. Ezekiel 36 and 2. Now look at what the book is saying about Esau. And then it turned around and happened. The Lord had it prophesied, and then it happened. 36 and 2. Go ahead and read it.
Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord God, because the enemy have said against you,
Uh-huh.
Aha, even ancient high places are ours in possession.
Uh-huh.
Therefore prophesy Therefore prophesy and say, thus said the Lord God, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side.
Go ahead.
That ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen.
To what?
The residue of the heathen.
Didn't they conspire against the children of Israel, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, and the Hagarenes? We could have read more. He said, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord God, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. Go ahead and read.
And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are in infamy of the people.
And you are an infamy of the people. Who done this? Skip to verse 5. Go ahead and read it.
Therefore thus said the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea.
And against who?
All Idumea.
All Idumea. Why?
Which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart.
Which have appointed my land into their possession. Because Antipater was set up. He was an Edomite. Right? Herod was set up. He was an Edomite. Then Israel finally was destroyed. Now we're going to see what Obadiah says about this. Because Edom was right there helping when Jerusalem was being destroyed. Let's go to Obadiah now. Obadiah, and we're going to pick it up at verse 6. Obadiah, verse 6. We got two more after this. Obadiah, verse 6. Because let's see now. Israel was being destroyed, right? And they were being destroyed in 70 AD. Let's see what Edom was doing at this time. Because they were in the land too with them, right? Obadiah 6. Obadiah, verse 6. Go ahead and read it.
Obadiah, verse 6. Are the things of Esau searched out? Are his hidden things sought up?
Go ahead.
All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the board. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Go ahead.
And thy mighty men, O Teman.
Now who is Teman? That's Esau. And thy mighty men, O Teman, go ahead.
Shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Ooh. He's going to be cut off by slaughter. Why?
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, his twin brother. Now you won't come, after you being destroyed, you're going to come and settle in Judah with your brother Israel. And now, when Israel is being destroyed, now you are going to help the Romans destroy the children of Israel. Your own brother. He looked out for you, but you didn't look out for him. Even when you told him he couldn't come through your land, but he let you in his land and let you settle in the land. You just got to get circumcised, though, Esau. Okay, I get circumcised. You got to take on our culture and our ways of life, Esau. Okay, I'll do that. We're going to give you the word of God, Esau, because weren't they trying to hear Jesus speak? The Idumeans, they were also trying to hear Jesus speak and get that wisdom. Now, when the Romans come in to destroy Jerusalem, Esau helped. Start that verse again, brother.
Verse 9. And thy mighty men, O T-man, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Go ahead.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob thy brother Jacob's shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Ooh. He got a big punishment coming. We know that this is future right here, right? He said you're going to be cut off forever. And he's still living right now. So this is future when the Lord's going to cut him off. Go ahead and read.
In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them.
You see that? He said, Esau, you was one of them. When the strangers came in, when the Romans came in to destroy Jerusalem, you were one of them. You helped them. Go ahead and read.
Verse 12. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother.
Who?
The day of thy brother.
Thy brother,
In the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction.
Go ahead.
Neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity.
Go ahead.
Yea, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity.
They should have been helping the children of Israel, their brother, instead of letting the Romans come in and destroy. Go ahead and read. That'd be just like me and my brother. Somebody coming, and that's how it was when we were younger. You come to fight my brother, boy, you had to fight both of us. Go ahead and read.
Nor have laid hands on their substance.
Nor have laid hands on their substance. Remember, they started calling themselves Jews, right? Then when the Romans came in to destroy, what did they do? They helped them and then took their substance. Started taking on their identity. Started taking over their identity. Okay, my mic is not on. Batteries? I thought I just changed the battery. Can we get some more battery? Your mic is on, but mine is not on. Go ahead. We ain't stopping though. Keep reading. Amen.
14. Neither should thou have stood in the crossway.
Neither should thou have stood in the crossways.
To cut off those of his that did escape. Neither should thou have delivered up those.
Now look, they standing there helping. The ones that tried to escape, they helping them. They helping the Romans, rather, stop them from escaping. The Jews. They helping the Romans stopping the Jews from escaping. Now, that's really something, man. We're going to let you up in the land, help you out after you being destroyed. Now, when our enemies come against us, you going to help our enemies. Then, when we tried to get away, you stopped us. But I'm going to show you something. Just hold on one second about Esau. What verse you at?
Back at 14. Neither should thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape.
Go ahead.
Neither should thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Go ahead.
Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Now, we're going to read about Esau again. We got two more, and y'all don't get mad at me when y'all read this. Now, look at what Esau done. Start right here. So remember, the Edomites came up into Jerusalem, and they were reckoned as Edomites, right? Go ahead and read.
It says, but the union between them and the Jews.
Between the Edomites and the Jews. The union between them. Go ahead and read.
Proved of little blessing.
So, whereas Israel thinking, hey, I got my brother here with me and everything, it's going to be good, right? But he said, no. Go ahead and read. No blessing for you, Israel.
Proved of little blessing. Rather, they became an element of weakness to the Jews.
Go ahead.
And in the moment of need, they treacherously betrayed them
They
to Rome.
did what? treacherously betrayed them to Rome. The Edomites betrayed the Jews to the Romans. Go ahead and read.
At the time, the Romans under Titus besieged Jerusalem.
So that we're looking now in 70 AD, because that's when Titus besieged Jerusalem. But Obadiah had already told you about it, right?
Yep.
Go ahead and read.
Titus besieged Jerusalem in 70 AD. The Idumeans, along with the Zealot party, early joined the rebellion against the foe.
So they joined the rebellion against the Jews. The Edomites and the Zealots. Better watch them people called Zealots. But anyway, go ahead.
Through the influence of John of Giscala, as Josephus informed us.
Now, you know, Josephus wrote about the destruction of Jerusalem. So, you know, Josephus, Edomite, but he still wrote about it. Go ahead and read.
20,000.
How many Israelites you know named Josephus? You don't read about nobody in the Bible named Josephus. Go ahead and read.
It says, as Josephus informed us, 20,000 Idumeans were allowed access to the holy city. Only to fill the city with robbery and bloodshed.
Only to fill the city with robbery and bloodshed. Whose blood was they shedding? The Jews, the children of Israel. They joined in with the Romans to help destroy the Jews. Go ahead and read.
They spared nobody.
They spared nobody. Let me say, thou should have not stood in the crossway when they did try to escape. So now the Edomites, they didn't spare nobody. Go ahead and read.
The outer temple was completely covered with blood.
Look at this. The outer temple was completely covered with blood. Go ahead.
8,500 perished there in one day. But the rage of Idumeans was not confined to the temple precincts. They betook themselves to the city and plundered every house.
And do you see that? They plundered every house of the Jews, their twin brother, who let them come in the land when they were being destroyed by the Arabs. Now they turned on the children of Israel, his brother, and plundered every house. Go ahead and read.
They plundered every house.
Did the Lord say in Obadiah, thou shouldst not have laid hands on his substance, thy brother Israel's substance? Now he go Esau plundering every house. Go ahead and read.
Plundered every house and slew everyone they met.
Look at this.
Most ruthlessly. Most ruthlessly.
Uh-huh.
Most ruthlessly, they massacred the priests. Even standing with their coarse feet upon their bodies.
Now look,
to
they
defile
got
them.
after they killed the priest, they had put their feet on top. You know how you put your foot on top of somebody when they're on the ground? After they killed the priest.
Wow.
These people are ruthless. Go ahead.
Even standing with their coarse feet upon their bodies to defile them. And casting them forth without respectful burial.
Then just throw them to the ground. You know, and left them there to, you know.
Even Ananias, the high priest, fell a victim to their savage rage.
Look, they done killed the high priest even. These people were savages when it came to their twin brother. That's why the Lord said, I love Jacob, but I hated Esau. Because he knew who Esau was. He knew how cruel Esau was. And how cruel he is. He knew it. Let's go now. We got 2 scriptures and a video, and we out of here. Luke, because I want to show y'all something. Luke 21 and 20. Luke 21 and 20. Luke 21 and 20. When you get it, brother, start reading.
Luke chapter 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Now look, we're looking at the destruction of Jerusalem, like Jesus told you, right? Go ahead and read.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountain. Let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Go ahead.
And let not them that are in the countries enter therein.
Now look, Obadiah had already told you. He told you Jerusalem's going to be destroyed, and here Jesus is confirming it. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. Why? Go ahead.
For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
Go ahead.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
Go ahead.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
Now, stop right there. You see what happened to the children of Israel? This is what Jesus said was going to happen to the children of Israel. They're going to fall by the edge of the sword, and they're going to be led away captive into all nations. Go ahead and read.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Now, which people were led away captive into all nations? It's our people. Y'all ain't got to be scared to say it. It is our people that were led away captive into all nations on ships. On ships. And Jesus even told you and confirmed what Obadiah has said. Now we're going to watch this short video.
Popping.
Yeah, it was popping. It was like the party of the year for me. I had a blast. It was a lot of hard work getting up to it because I had to learn Hebrew and learn. I did the Vietza. That was my portion of the Torah, which is basically in Genesis, and I talk about how Jacob had the dream about the ladder and the angels going up and down the ladder, and I had to teach about what I learned. So that's that's about what it is.
I see you rocking the Star of David. It's interesting because you went to how you pronounce it?
Eritrea.
Eritrea a few times. That's Africa, but it got you closer to your Jewish heritage,
Yeah,
right?
got closer to my roots all the way around, But let's be honest. When I was 15, 16 years old, I started doing bar and bat mitzvahs, so I was already kind of close to it. My grandma was telling me that's what my father was, and I didn't know if she was telling me that just to be telling me so I could get the job doing the bar and bat mitzvahs, so I could make some money, so I could stop asking her for money, or if it was true, right? And then I finally met my father at 27, and then he told me it was true, and that when he was on alcohol and drugs and stuff, and the Christians saved him, so he considered himself a Christian Jew, right? But in our blood, that's what it is, and still I didn't all the way believe him. And then when I went to Eritrea, and I started talking to the people, started talking to my family members, and found out, there's a lot of things that's going on there. Like it's illegal to be certain religions. It's illegal to practice your certain beliefs depending on what you are, or if you press it on other people and stuff. And but things have changed. Things are changing now, and I'm happy about that. But there's a lot of change that needs to come there. So when all that happened, I realized, like, dang, in the Black community, we don't have anything that says I'm an adult now. That's all those things have been stripped from us when we were brought here to America, right? Real. And so there's nothing that says, okay, you're an adult. Like there's quinceañeras for Spanish people. There's bar and bat mitzvahs for others. White people just inherit land and get their businesses. Their father's business. Everybody has something, but we don't have anything that says you're an adult. And I was talking with some of my friends, and they're like, hey, I've been to jail 3 times. I'm a grown man. That don't make you no grown man. That's just because you went to jail. That means that makes you a bad criminal. That's right. You're not good at crime. That's what that make you. Stupid. So I felt like I wanted to do something to show my people that, like, if you dig, like I went ahead and did my 23andMe, and everything my father said was true. Everything my mama said was not true. She think that we like Blackfoot, Indian, Navajo, or something like that. Ain't no Native American.
No Native American.
no Blackfoot Indian, unless those Blackfoots came from Africa, from Nigeria, and came here, and then they was like, we got here before Christopher Columbus, and then which probably is what happened. But there's no Native American in my blood, but I got that East African, I got some European, I got, some Hebrew, I got all these things in me. So I said, I'm gonna honor it. I'm gonna take advantage of this. I'm gonna learn the Hebrew. I'm gonna just study the religion, and it's not that far off from like Jehovah's Witnesses, where I grew up around, and in Baptist church. It's not that far off. And I don't know if you ever been to a temple, a Jewish temple, but you gotta go, because they be in there singing, okay?
Yeah. Really?
They sang.
Like black gospel choir singing?
Now, I don't know about like black gospel choir singing, but they sang. They get it in. They're like, yeah, Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu. Like they get it in. They get it in. I'm like, okay. I can rock with this.
Did you get any backlash to that at all? Because I know sometimes black people be like, "Now we Baptist or we Catholic." Or
yeah, so some people have said things like, "Oh no, you black. That's what you are. You black. You Christian. You this. You don't know. You don't know, because there's black everything. Right. There's black people all over the world, and religion is one thing, and blood is another thing.
You can choose your religion.
You can choose your religion. And
we original man and woman anyway.
That part.
Yeah.
That part. Yeah. And when you do your real true research about the Hebrews and the Jews and the Israelites and all that, you find out that they look a lot like us sitting in this room right now. So maybe somebody stole some of the Jewish religion. Anyway, let me shut up. I don't have to be like some people stole from the get-go, but...
You got your bar mitzvah.
All right. Now, everybody see that? Of course, everybody knows that Tiffany Haddish, black movie star. She says that her people are Jewish. Her father is an Ethiopian Jew, a Phalasha, right? And now she's saying somebody stole somebody's heritage. Let's go to Revelation 3 and 9. This will be last. Revelations 3 and 9. So this word is getting out, man. Our people are starting to realize who we are. We are starting to realize who we are. Revelations 3 and 9. It's going to come a time, though, that the whole world is going to know who we are. And then 10 men from each nation going to say, take me, grab hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew and say, take me with you, for the Lord is with you. Revelations 3 and 9, this will be last. Go ahead and read.
Revelations chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not.
Stop right there. He said, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not. Who worship in synagogues? Don't y'all holler it out too loud. Start that over, brother.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
Now, he said, I'm going to come and make them worship before thy feet. Who is that thy feet? That is the Jews, the real Jews. Thank everybody for coming. Now we're going to have the reading of the announcements.
Grace and peace to our brothers and sisters here at the Israel Church of the Living God. If this is your first visit, we hope you come back and worship with us again next Sabbath. There's no eating or drinking in the sanctuary with the exception for war. Brothers and sisters, please adhere to the dress code of Israel's Church of the Living God. Brothers, please remove any head covering upon entering the building. Do not wear sleeveless shirts, fleece jogging pants, shorts, tight-fitting pants, or any other revealing attire. Sisters, you must have a head covering. This is required. Hat, scarf, etc. Do not wear pants, shorts, skirts, mid-drifts or see-through blouses, mini dresses, mini skirts, halter tops of any kind, revealing split, tight-fitting, or cleavage revealing attire, modest apparel only. We have Bibles and scarves available for visitors. If you use the Bible scarf that belongs to Israel's Church of the Living God, please return it prior to leaving. If you live in the Lake County, Illinois area, please watch a television program, The Word for Life. That's every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., Comcast Channel 17. You can visit our Facebook page, Israel's Church of the Living God, to watch our live Sabbath lessons and view another page from my notebook by Brother Russ, Pastor Robert. Live every Wednesday, and you can also post questions or comments. All questions will be answered according to the Bible. Click the Facebook like button to see our daily post in your news feed. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel at ICOTLG 567 to view our recorded Sabbath lessons and Hedge of Armor with Brother Caleb, myself, and Brother Rob. In an effort to expand the church ministry, we have established a building fund. You can make secure donations or payments online using our PayPal account at israelschurch.org. Or you can send your donations to the attention of ICOTLG at P.O. Box 8933, Waukegan, Illinois, 60079. We thank you for your past contributions and hope for your continued support. Free will donations are welcome and appreciated. Finally, brothers and sisters, please continue to pray for one another. This is this weekly Sabbath announcement.
If you'd like to contact us here at Israel's Church of the Living God, you give us a call at 847-636-4792. That's 847-636-4792 or 847-246-4421. We also would like for you to follow us on our website. That's israelschurch.org. israelschurch.org, where you can follow us on Facebook. And we are also streaming live on Facebook. We are streaming live on YouTube as well now. And for those that are viewing our channel, we would like for you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to ring that bell for the notifications.
Amen.
Okay? If you would like prayer and spiritual counseling, you can see myself or Brother Caleb. Or give us a call at one of these numbers, 847-636-4792 or 847-246-4421. If you would like to be baptized, you can see myself or Brother Caleb or give us a call at one of those numbers. For a list of the holy days for 2020, you can visit our website. That's israelschurch.org. Parents, please escort your children to the restroom and do not allow your children to run in the hallways. Okay, this is a pretty big building, and we don't want no one to get lost, right? So escort your children to the washroom. If your child is being disruptive, quietly take them to the children's classroom, which that's where they should be anyway. But for those who have babies that have to be held, and just quietly just go ahead and take them over to the children's class. Okay? Reminder, Sabbath lunch is provided by members. Please contribute a dish if you are able to. Okay? Any more announcements? Okay. If that's it, we're going to stand and face the room and close out.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. For thy kingdom come, and thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread. And forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.